What's up, guys, and welcome to the first ever pilot to my brand new podcast, Sports and Music, Big and Small. I'm your host, Nathan Murray. I got one of my good friends right here, Ben Berryman. What's up, Ben?
What's up, guys?
It's good to see you, Ben. To kind of give you a little bit of reference, Ben, I work with Ben at Chick-fil-A here in Georgia. And I've been knowing him for like a good few years now, but because of my dads and how dads can be, seen on social media, he knew a little bit about me beforehand.
Absolutely.
So Ben, tell me about yourself. What brings you here?
Well, I'm just here to kind of talk to you about a couple things, and I'm excited to just be here in general and just kind of have a conversation with you and just absolutely just have a good time today.
Dude, I'm honored, dude. I'm honored that you were able to come here and just be able to just take your time out of your day just to be here and just talk. And I mean, a lot of props to you. To kind of give a little bit more specifics about Ben is that he helped me like just get this podcast on air. I mean, it definitely did cost like a good amount of money, but because of Ben, I wouldn't be able to get like a lot of the software rather posted and get the podcast on air. So props
Absolutely.
to you, Ben. So thank you so much. Thank you for spending the time.
It's always my pleasure.
Yeah, it's always your pleasure.
Always
dude.
my pleasure.
Always your pleasure. It's my pleasure too, dude. My pleasure too. So Ben, what we kind of wanted, you said you want to talk about a couple of things. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, I honestly think we should just talk about the Atlanta Braves. Today I think that here in Georgia we are, of course, Braves country.
Sure.
Also around
Yeah.
A tiny bit of Florida, not much, but a tiny bit of Florida, Alabama and Tennessee and South Carolina. We're all a part of Braves country, and we all supports the Braves. So I'd say we should talk about the Braves today.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject because I myself am an Atlanta Braves fan. I mean, say that like 5 times fast, but like I love the Atlanta Braves, and I've grew up an Atlanta Braves fan ever since like I knew about baseball. So probably when I was like 4 or 5 years old when I started T-ball. So I've been an Atlanta Braves fan for a very long time. So I'm sure you've been a Braves fan yourself for a pretty long time.
I have, and that actually brings up a interesting thing. So I grew up a Tigers fan because I'm originally, like, my entire family is originally from Michigan. And so I grew up a diehard, like, Tigers fan growing up, like, when I was younger,
Sure.
As soon as I hit my teenage years, I switched to the Braves because I've been down here in Georgia for so long.
Yeah.
So but early childhood, I would have literally just Tiger merchandise all over my room.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd be a big Tigers fan,
I bet.
and I supported them. I was a big Tigers fan for the longest time. And then I was like, I'm making the change, because I really got hooked in around the 2018-2019 season.
Sure.
So, and that's kind of when things took off for me as a Braves fan, and then, of course, we won the whole thing in 2021. So, and that was just an incredible season to watch.
I'm sure.
Because, keep in mind, we weren't even playing above 500 before the All-Star break, and yet, our entire staff and management was able to bring in all these tools like Jock Peterson, Jorge Soler, Eddie Rosario, and Adam Duvall, and just put together a team that didn't look well on paper, but somehow just worked out. And we were able to get the World Series.
Especially with Ronald Acuna Jr. going down with his ACL injury. And just I mean, that was just a big blow on the Braves. And I remember watching that, and I remember seeing on social media that day, okay, the season's over. Yeah. I mean, you got an MVP caliber player, and he ended up winning the MVP in 2023 in National League. And just 5 tool hits for contact, hits for power, has speed, just a fantastic arm. I mean, and then just Gold Glove level defense. I mean, complete player. Yeah. And I mean, he's also got a little bit of swag. You know what I mean? A little bit of swag to him because he's a newer player.
Yeah, exactly. And he's said that he's always wanted to be a Brave for the rest of his life.
Sure.
And, I could see it happening. It just depends on where they want to go because. Of course, he just came off another ACL tear of last year, which sucked. So, but and then we'll get into it. But he's back on the injured list now, so it's just but it sucks because I know he wants to be out on the field playing.
Yes,
and that is what hurts me the most whenever I see a player go down, no matter who it is, whether it's Bryce Harper or any other player, like Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani, any other player, I want to see them out there because I love seeing competition.
Sure.
You know, and I feel like friendly, healthy, good competition, like, hey, I want to win. No, I want to win, you know, is good for the game. Because here's the thing. Baseball is the hardest sport to make your way up in, like, period.
Yeah,
because
no doubt.
You look at any other sport, soccer, football, baseball. Well, baseball is the hardest, but you look at like soccer, baseball, hockey, you know, any other sport. It's relatively easy to get up. I mean, for crying out loud, like college kids who went to the saying is a one and done for basketball, they get straight onto an NBA team and they get to play in their first year.
Sure, yeah.
For a major league player, it could take them around 7 to 8 years just to get to the majors.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, and also because you got like, if you look at it, let's take the NFL for example.
Yeah.
And for the NFL, like you can go straight to the NFL. When you get drafted, you're straight on the NFL. Yeah. And there's no G leagues. Like there's no minor league team now for basketball. There is a G league team.
There is a G,
but it's just one team.
Yeah.
Now with baseball, you got like rookie ball, you got single A, and you got like different divisions,
double, triple.
And you got like
all these minor league levels.
And to kind of like break it down, you also got like multiple like single A levels, and you got multiple rookie ball, like rookie A ball,
it's just insane.
It's crazy. And then like I forgot where I heard this quote, but like it's not because you're really good. It's because you're really lucky, and just everything just lines up if you get to the majors, right? I mean, it's just crazy for me to believe. But to kind of get back on topic, just about the Braves, I would kind of want to talk. I mean, now that you mentioned the Braves, I want to kind of talk about like this season.
Yeah, this 2025 season.
I'm not gonna lie, from one Braves fan to another, I'm sure you could feel like how difficult it is to talk about.
It definitely is, and I'd say, you know, coming off the 0-7 start, I was a little like, okay, yeah, here we go. And then as soon as we started winning games and actually got that first win when we got back home against the Marlins, I feel like, okay, you know, just a rocky start against two really good teams. Because I will say that we probably had the hardest two-team schedule right out of the door, facing the Padres and the Dodgers. I think that was the toughest beginning to a season out of any of the teams this year. And I don't blame them, you know, and because keep in mind, we were still waiting on a couple people to come back, but it's like on paper, this team should be winning the NL East right now.
Oh,
but
no question.
After that first, you know, win, I was like, okay, we're getting some momentum because, you know, it was like, okay, it was our first win, you know, we got it in the books, and we were like, okay, it was against the Marlins too, which was nice being against a fellow division rival.
Sure, yeah.
But as soon as we got more and more in depth into the season, I was like, we're winning and we're losing very constantly. And then there was another span where we just kept losing. I think we lost a total of like 8 games in a row or something.
Yeah,
again.
It's just and just looking at that, I mean, I feel like just like losing those 7-8 games in a row. If you take a look at the Dodgers, if you take a look at that whole division, I mean, that whole division, you got the Dodgers, Padres. I mean, who else? You got
the Diamondbacks and the Rockies.
Rockies. Who else? I think there's one more team. The Giants.
Giants.
You got the Giants. So if you
in that NL West team.
If you like Rockies aside, because Rockies, I'm not gonna lie, they are not that good.
No.
And they're projected to be like the worst team probably in history in baseball. But that's another like concept to talk about.
They took almost a month just to get the first win.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
Maybe not that long, but still.
A long time, longer than the Braves. But anyway, but if you look at that, all 4 of those teams are capable of winning a wild card.
Yeah.
Or just being in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
All 4 of those teams.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got, and then if you look at the Dodgers, the first team that the Braves played, or I know
it was the second.
Because
we faced the Padres first and then Dodgers second.
Right. So let's take a look at the Padres then.
Yeah.
You got just a lot of young talent, really diverse lineup.
Absolutely.
And so you got who lead off Fernando Tatis Jr. You got like a 5-tool athlete like Ronald Acuna Jr., crazy arm, crazy athleticism. I mean, great bat. His for contact, a little bit of contact, less contact, more power, I would say.
Yeah.
But still has a little bit of that contact in there. And then you got just great speed. And then you got your 2-hole, like Luis Ariz, who just puts a bat on the ball, and it's just so annoying.
Yeah.
Especially when he was in like the division with the Marlins.
Oh my word, yes.
And he was just like 400 hitter. Like, and I'm like, he's just like poke. And I'm like, what's going on?
No.
Like you it's stuff you don't really expect. And then you got Manny Machado, a veteran, being got to 2,000 hits in career this year, which is like crazy. And then you got like a 4-hole in. I think Jackson Merrill came later, but Jackson Merrill, who is absolutely gross. He's going to be really good in terms of the bat. I mean, he can hit lefties, he can hit righties, he can hit it all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really good. But then I can go on and on about like the Padres team, but you already had like a complete team right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean, with our Braves, we had a complete team.
Yeah.
We did. You know, we had adversity, we had depth. The only thing that I was afraid of going into the season, which is still a grudge still now, even though like we have a losing record, is our bullpen.
Oh, no question. I was just about to say that.
Our bullpen has lost us more games than ever because here's the thing. I did a stat right before we started this, and we are currently 14 at the time we're recording this. We are 14-29 in one-run games. One-run games. We are 14-29.
That's crazy because the bullpen.
If we had flat, and if we were 29-14, we'd be leading the division right now. And keep in mind, that's not against all division teams. That's just all around.
Yeah.
Period.
We'll be one of the best teams of baseball.
Yeah, we would be the best team in baseball. That's how many one-run games that we've lost.
That's insane, dude.
Which is ridiculous because it's like, you know, it's we and I've seen this track ever since after the All-Star break. We win the first game of the series and then we lose the last two. It just happened. I think like 3 times in a row, except for against the Rangers where we did get swept by them.
Yeah,
but I think backtracking into like against the Yankees, the Giants, and the Blue Jays, like those teams, we went 1-2 against them.
I mean, it's just unbelievable because you also look at the Royals that they recently played.
Yeah.
And then like the 0-1 bullpen, blown it 0.
All bullpen.
And it's just. Like you gotta look at the Braves. I mean, the hitting also didn't help either.
No,
but I mean, it's just been really inconsistent all year. I feel
it has because it's like they'll get like, and when they score, they will score.
Oh no,
like
question.
When the offense is hot, it is hot. The thing is they need to bring back the 2023 Braves to where they were they were scoring like 8 runs in the first inning.
Yeah,
and then they would win the game in the first inning pretty much.
Yeah,
you know?
it's just a lot of inconsistencies with that.
Exactly.
But I mean, I feel like we're talking a lot about like just the downsides and stuff like that of just the Braves. I want to kind of take a look at the upside. One of the upsides, their starting pitching. Oh my gosh, the starting pitching I feel like is one of the best in baseball.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's on the IL right now, but you look at that on paper, once everyone is healthy, that is one of the best starting lineups I have ever seen. You've got Chris Sale, you've got Ronaldo Lopez, you've got Spencer Strider, you've got Spencer Schwellenbach, which if he didn't get injured, definitely a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Speaking of which, Drake Baldwin, we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah.
But, and then, you look at Grant Holmes. All 5 of those guys have really good pitches. They know what to do. Mm-hmm. And the thing is you could include Bryce Elder in that, but it's like with him, it's like he still needs to work on his slider and his curveball because he doesn't get those down. Yeah. If he works on getting those down and away from the batter, I feel like he'd be an outstanding pitcher. He doesn't have the consistency yet as, Strider, Sale, or, any other pitcher like Lopez or anyone like that. It's like he doesn't have the consistent, velocity that these other pitchers have yet. He's still a great pitcher. Honestly, I wouldn't mind him being in our bullpen because I think he would be a great aspect to the bullpen, and I think because he could come out for 20 to 15 pitches, give or take, and I feel like that's exactly what we need, just someone to get a quick 3 outs. Because keep in mind, a year ago he had the highest ground ball rate out of anyone in the MLB, and so if he got a runner on first and already a strikeout, it was almost automatically a double play almost every time.
Sure, yeah.
So,
I don't know. I don't really see him in the bullpen, and here's why. He doesn't. For me, he just doesn't throw hard enough.
That's
and
fair.
he throws 91 to 93, 93 give or take.
Yeah.
And he just reminds me a lot of Greg Maddux.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just like knows where to locate. He
Yep.
knows where it's like. I mean, what Maddux? I'm talking about Maddux.
Yeah.
He knows where to locate,
Yep.
and he know like his movement. I was watching a video the other day about him. I think pitching to Ken Griffey Jr. and he threw a sinker. It was just otherworldly, and it was like 30 inches of run. I was like, oh my gosh, and it went like just like and just like a really quick dive. And I feel like Elder has that. His sinker has a lot more depth, than it does run.
Yeah,
and his slider and curveball are good. It's really good movement. I don't think he throws hard enough though.
Yeah.
When let's say you got like a Spencer Strider or.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Spencer Strider, 90, 98, 99, 100. I mean,
here and there.
And then like it's a tight slider, and then you see a guy who, and you're behind on him all day.
Yeah.
And so he goes in. Let's say he goes in. It's like 7 innings, 1 run, baseball, 9 strikeouts, right? Yeah. And like absolute killer performance. And then you got Bryce Elder who comes in like 8th inning, and then I feel like you just get like tattooed because, I mean, everybody will be like a little bit ahead. I mean, because the velocity is down. But it's not like down too much in compared to Spencer Strider, and I feel like he'll just get tattooed for that. So I don't know if he'll be like a good like bullpen piece. I think he would be a really good starting pitcher, like you said, if he controls that curveball and his slider.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But yeah, I feel like he's like just the starting pitching in Atlanta has just been crazy good.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
Yeah. I mean the first half of the season it was incredible, and that's what got us most of our wins that we still have.
Right.
And now that everyone's on the AL, it's like at this point in the season, there's no way we're going to catch up. We're 16 games behind.
Yeah.
And I just think at this point, as you're looking at, the trade deadline's ending today, if you are Braves staff, I would look towards keep everyone off, get everyone healthy. Don't risk, a season-ending injury to where it's like going to end their season for next season, for the 2026 season. I'd say rest everybody up.
Yes.
Get everybody healthy.
Yes.
I'd say bring up some minor league people and just give them a shot in the majors and just kind of see where they are.
No question.
Because I think that, one, it gives the Braves more an advantage to have some minor league people. Right. That way, when they do get sent down, if we have another injury next year, get them prepared, get them ready, and get them, a little bit of a taste on how the major league level performs rather than the minors, because it is a big difference.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a huge difference comparing minor to major, and I think giving, some kids a shot would be great.
Yeah, giving them some like live looks with that, because I mean, even though you got like a really young team in the Braves. I wouldn't say really young. I would say just young team in the Braves.
Yeah.
And with like a little bit of leadership in Chris Sale and a little bit of leadership in or like veterans, and Ronald Acuna somewhat.
Yeah.
Austin Riley somewhat. I feel like it's still like
Matt Olson. He's definitely a veteran.
Matt Olson for sure.
You have so much. That's the good thing about the Braves is they're well-rounded versed with leadership, being a veteran. And also youth.
Yes, no
You're
question.
all well-rounded all around that. And I feel like as we go into maybe next season, I think that, we're going to take this season to be like, okay, what did we do wrong last season to where we can do better in games next season?
Yeah, and I feel like, I'm not going to lie, I feel like in terms of the hitting, because the hitting's been so inconsistent, there's going to be some managing changes.
Oh, absolutely. I think Brian's going to retire.
Brian Snicker?
I think Brian Snicker's going to retire.
I think he's going to be fired, if anything, and he's going to move somewhere else.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
He might move
65 years old.
Oh, he is?
I genuinely think he's going to retire at this point. Because, I just don't see another team going after him. I don't see, another team wanting to pick him up. So I think he's going to retire, and I think that, we're possibly – I've heard rumors that we're kind of eyeing the Marlins' previous manager before – the Marlins manager got replaced. It's some young guy. I can't remember his name, but I think the Braves are kind of scouting him out. Which I don't mind a young guy at all taking that head manager position, because I feel like
we need a little bit
more fresh things and, a bit more adversity. And I think that, our hitting coaches need to, get something together and, understand that, hey, we've been so inconsistent this year.
Right.
Why is that? Let's fix that in the offseason and especially in spring training.
No question.
And be like, okay, because I think the main problem about our hitting this year was, chasing. Because I've been seeing a lot of players chasing, and I don't feel like they haven't been locating the ball like previous years in the past, like 3 or 4 years. Like even when we won the World Series, it's like that team knew how to locate the ball. I don't feel like this team knows how to locate the ball.
Like in terms of pitching?
Yeah. Like they can.
I think the bullpen especially. I mean the starting pitching. Hands down, they know how to locate. And you got like a lot of guys who, a lot of strikeout pitchers. Yeah. Swellenbach, you got Grant Holmes. All of them just getting like double-digit strikeouts on a consistent basis. Strider getting close back to prime,
back to where he was,
and like throwing 100 again.
And that's why I think we need to keep Strider in even this season, is just to keep him warming up for next season, because he's just coming off of 2 injuries basically.
Yeah, I feel like one thing I really like that I've been noticing, especially with the Dodgers, with Shohei and pitching. He, instead of taking like 1 year where he he had Tommy John rather, and they took like 2.5 years and really ensured recovery, and I really like that. And I feel like instead of like for Acuna, probably, since you already know the season's going to be like all over. Yeah, I would. That's like a derogatory like term for it, but it's it's going to be really difficult to come back from 16 games behind, especially heading into August. Yeah, and I feel like it's just if they place Acuna on the 2 to 3 week IO, I think he should be like on a month and a half at least.
Yeah. And especially with an Achilles injury, it's like, even though it's a grade 1, it's like Achilles is still a pretty serious injury. Sean Murphy had one right out of the bat 2 years ago, and it's just like, you got to watch for those injuries, because even though managers say like 1 to 2 weeks, they need more time to heal. Yeah, because we're not superhumans. We're regular human beings, and we need time to heal our bodies and absolutely, have that chance to get back out there and perform. And it's like, I know you're urging to get back out there, but you've got to heal first. Yeah.
And I agree with that. And I feel like, especially with the people who are on the injured list, who are expected to come back maybe mid-August to late August to maybe early September. Don't come back. No. It's wait until next season, get ready, get good recovery, and just this season be ready to go next season.
At this point, this season just belongs to somebody else. Yeah. Which, you're going to have that. And, I personally want, Tigers versus Dodgers. I think that'd be
that's going to be a really good series.
World Series matchup. I think that would be well adversed. And the thing about the Tigers is they are young and they are scary. Right. Good.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. They're really good.
Yeah. And they've got pretty much an entirely new staff for managers, and it's like they did scouting reports and they've gotten their guys together, and somehow, some way, that format has just worked out for them.
No question. And that's a team I really respect, especially because it's a team who's been in the mud for like a good handful of years, especially.
Yeah, because the Tigers haven't been to the World Series since 2012 against the Giants.
Yeah,
and they even got swept by them in the World Series.
And it's just like, you look at Miguel Cabrera, and like, he was like really old, but you didn't really have anything after that. No. And
that's why he retired. He was like, I'm going to let these kids come back up and see what they can do with the team and my legacy that I have left here.
Sure. And no question about that. And he's really left a legacy right there. Yeah. One of the like all-time greats, I think. Because he's over 3,000 hits. He's over 500, I think, was it 550 home runs? Yeah. That's unheard of. That's in a category of its own.
That's up there with Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
Like,
stats,
no
question.
Because, Hank Aaron, left his legacy, insanely well with the Braves.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not sure how many of you guys watched the All-Star game, but if you guys didn't, I'd encourage you guys to go check out. There's a video about like honoring Hank Aaron's 715th home run. Yes. And guys, it was an incredible video. And I think it was a great tribute to him, because that's the good thing the Braves are good about, is still paying tribute to him. And, even the homers for Hank, Truist has that foundation, and they'll donate money every time the Braves hit a homer during the season. And, and it goes towards the Hank Aaron Foundation. And I think it's a great way to, help others out and continuing to just, pursue baseball for what it is.
Right.
And I feel like people want that to become more, in a sense that baseball is more than just a sport. And it's something that everybody enjoys, whether it's, being on the field and playing, and or, just being in the stands with a hot dog and a drink and just being like, yo, let's go team, whatever team you root for.
Yeah. That's really good. That's really, yeah. I mean, it's just like a good, the thing about Atlanta, even though the team might not be like where it is and where like a lot of people think, I mean, there's just, the fans are really good. It's a really good environment.
And we're loyal.
There's a lot of there's a lot of loyalty there.
We're very loyal, and we're not toxic, So
Phillies, New York. I mean, I mean, me personally, I've encountered very few Philly fans, and they're great people.
Yeah.
But it's just like looking at the Philly fans like Philly's fan base and like the New York fan base, and just like the type of people, just like in highlights, just looking at that alone, is just like, is something else. Chicago White Sox. Oh my gosh. I remember going to a White Sox game a few years ago after going to right after going to a Cubs game, and I had a Cubs jersey on.
Oh wow.
And there was this guy who, everybody was saying, boo, Cubs suck. And just like, there was this one guy who was you could tell he was a little drunk. And he said, boo, Cubs suck. Let's go White Sox. And he was like a half inch away from me, away from my ear. And I was just like, just get away from me. And like, we're just here to enjoy a game, But yeah, that's the thing about Atlanta. I feel like there's like a lot of good like loyalty, a lot of good consistency in that area. But yeah, it's just a lot of disappointment.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And I feel like this season, as we're wrapping up in the next few minutes, it's just a lot of disappointment, and I feel like this is one of the most disappointing seasons that the Braves had probably ever.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, because I agree, because with the amount of talent and money that we have spent on just the value of all these players and all just like, staff and equipment and all that, it's just like, we should be better than this.
Yes.
We have a name for ourselves. We won the National League East 6 years in a row.
Yes.
And, I just think, this will be the first time we missed a playoff in literally 8 years. So,
it's crazy.
Because I think the Braves currently right now have the longest record for being in the playoffs. I could be wrong about that, but
it's definitely
they definitely have one of the longest playoff berths in Major League Baseball still, because you look at past years, and it's just like you don't see teams that often make the playoffs as consistently as the Braves have been in the past years. And it's just like, part of it was especially losing a lot of guys after that 2021 season, losing Dansby Swanson, losing Freddie Freeman, losing a lot of those guys really took a toll on the team. And it's like we had to find new replacements. My thing is I don't know how we did not win in 2023. Those 2023
Oh my
Braves
gosh, no question. That
were
should have
the
been
best Braves of the entire regular season. We were the best team of the regular season. We had the home run record. We were leading. We were literally leading everyone.
Had it all.
In everything, RBIs, whether it was OPS, or ERA. Like, our team was stacked that season. I genuinely do not know how we lost to the Phillies in the first round.
I think it's just the fan base was a little intimidating, and I think it's just the environment was a little intimidating, and the Phillies got hot.
Yeah, and here's the thing,
really
too.
hot.
Here's my projection. I think we were tired.
You think so?
I think we got tired.
Well,
I think we got tired and we let our guard down.
We got cold. Yeah, because we got cold because we had a first round bye.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like there should be like a playoff contention where like the first round bye shouldn't be a thing, so we can just so just first like 1 and 2 seeds.
You see first round byes in the NBA and the NFL and all these other sports, and it's like, I get it, and it's like in those sports, yes, because give the teams a little bit of rest, but when you're in baseball and you are continuously, you're hitting good, you're playing good.
Yes.
You want to keep playing. That way you don't get lazy and get restless, which is what the Braves did in 2023.
Yeah.
So
and it'll be interesting to see what happens this next season. I've heard that like some bullpen arms that have been giving up a lot of, like, I wouldn't say a lot of runs, but just been giving up some runs are going to be traded.
Yeah.
And I've heard Marcell Ozuna trades too.
Yeah.
And
like
just
rumor trades.
Rumor trades. Yeah.
We only have a few more hours left, and apparently Ozuna's in tonight's lineup, so I don't think he's going to get traded, surprisingly.
And I feel like there should be, like, for me personally, I think even though Nick Allen's a really good story, good, I think
he is like the best defensive shortstop that I have seen in a long time.
Sure.
He just cannot consistently hit.
That's right. And I feel like, I mean, man, it would have been good to pick up Carlos Correa, dude. That would have been crazy.
I would have loved that.
Yeah, it's just, that stinks. But, I mean, it's just scrape off season and just, like, you got to bounce back. But anyway, that concludes our episode for today. Ben, thank you for coming in and talking about, like, Atlanta, dude. Just even though it was kind of like even though it was just a perspective was like a little bit disappointing. It was just a really good conversation. Just to get like from one Braves fan rather to another.
Absolutely.
And just to see like what you think. I mean, just a lot of similarities there. But dude, thank you again for coming by. Anything else you want to say before we close?
I don't know, but go Braves.
Go Braves. Go Braves. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in for Sports and Music, Big and Small, for the pilot. I can't wait to get our first episode on lock the next time we project. So peace out, guys. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Take care, y'all.